Hey, Letty.
Hi.
How are you? I like your hair.
I cut it yesterday.
Looks good.
It's too hot up here.
Is it?
And then the mask and everything, forget it. You curled your hair or what? It looks nice.
No, I just put gel on it. I didn't feel like straightening it.
It looks good.
Thank you. Anything exciting over there?
Not much.
Not much.
The same old stuff.
Oh, the product, Mom should get it on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she told me that you ordered some.
Yeah, so it should be there Saturday.
I'll let her know. So what happened with the cooking?
Oh, there's two girls that want me to prep for them.
No. The remember he said he was gonna bring somebody in to do a recipe or something.
Oh, his brother. That's gonna be next Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, and he'll send me the recipe and stuff, so everyone can get the ¿cómo se dice? The stuff, basically. Yeah. So it'll be good.
Yeah.
Hey, Diane.
Hello. For carrying and hauling goods back and forth from state to state. They really didn't use the car for a few years. They didn't really start using it until last year.
Like you?
The car only had 68,000 miles on it. A pretty good car.
Hey, Jos.
And it's
hello.
Here, the front dash.
What are we doing today?
Area.
Working out?
Did you
check your blood sugar?
Really nice.
No.
Check your blood sugar, chica.
I'm at home. There's nobody here to press the button for me. I do it on Sundays. I hate poking my finger.
You'll be fine.
I'll do it on Sunday.
Hey, Jovi.
Hey, Martha. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
Good. Not too bad. How's everything going?
Going well. Thank you.
Yeah?
How about you?
Good. Just a lot of work today.
The what?
A lot of work today, but it was good. It went fast.
Yeah, that's why I was saying you looked a little tired.
Oh. Just a little.
Is Chris on?
No, he's still not on.
Okay. How's everybody else doing already? On?
Good.
All right.
Hi, how are you?
Area really nice and clean, guys. I mean, overall, this is
Not too bad. It just got a little gloomy when I got home.
It got what? I didn't hear that.
It got a little gloomy, so it started raining.
Yeah, it started to rain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's going to be nice weather tomorrow. That's what we got to look forward to.
Exactly.
Must be nice.
Will be
it's another day in hell over here.
Oh, sorry. But you know what? We're going to have hell soon for ourselves, okay? So next week it's going to be cold. So we're just going to enjoy it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
How's everyone doing?
Hi, Chris. How you doing?
Hi.
Good. Today we are not going to have a workout. Yay!
Hallelujah.
I just found out I have I've got a test tomorrow morning. I need to study for that. So today's going to be a quick in your face. I want to talk about the importance of food, the quality of food, and it's going to be like really quick. So You guys get off early today. Okay. So the main things I wanted to show are eggs, beef, and fish. All right. The number one thing is eggs. Here I have 2 eggs. I have to use my phone because I can't see anything. Can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
What color is that yolk?
Yellow.
Is it like a faded yellow?
Yes.
Not the dark yellow.
Is that a dark yellow? Okay.
I see it dark.
Okay, that was A. Here's B. What do you see now?
Dark yellow.
Darker.
Does it not
Yeah,
have like orange hue to it also?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the first one again. See the difference?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is healthier?
The
Dark.
darker.
Why is that?
I have no idea.
More nutrients.
Because you guys are trying to tell me what I want to hear.
No, it's like if you go pick a piece of fruit, I want the nice, juicy, looking good fruit that is vibrant, full of life. And I think the darker yellow is more full of life.
You're right. The darker it is, the more pigment it has, the more nutrients it has. Okay, so you want to have it dark as possible. So the reason why the yolks are different is because of what the hen eats. So whatever the animal eats is what you're eating. So if the animal, the faded yellow one, that's actually from this. Can you see what that? I can't see what it says. Can you see what it says?
Yes, free range.
Okay, free range. People think that they're buying a good egg because it's free range, because everybody hears that it's not good for a hen to be inside a cage the entire time. So humanity reasons and other ethical reasons, people just think that cage-free and free range are much better. They are better than cage, but the difference, the meaning behind free range, cage-free, and pasture-raised are all different meanings. So free range, what that means is that the chicken is not in the cage and is able to go outside for at least 6 hours, but there's no vegetation on the ground that they're walking on. It's dirt and whatever it is, but there's no insects, there's no bugs. Chickens, what they're supposed to eat, they're supposed to be eating flowers, grasshoppers, worms, insects, bugs, all these things that nature provides out there. And that's not what free range gets. Free range gets corn. And this is why the yolk is yellow. And it's not that orangish yellow color. It's yellow because of the corn that they feed it. The pigmentation of the corn gets into the yolk. So that's why the yolk is a faded yellow. So, the cage-free, what means is that they're not inside the cage. They're inside a barn, but they have very limited space. They're all packed on top of each other. Even though they're not in cages and they're cage-free, they're still locked inside the barn. They have no outside access. So they're fed corn and they're fed wheat and soybeans. These are all the things that make them fat and make them produce eggs more quickly. They also starve these chickens so that they lay more eggs. And for some reason, it makes them lay more eggs more frequently than if they were fed. So they do a lot of horrible things to these chickens to make them lay more eggs. The pasture raised, this is the one that I get. It's from Vital Farms. So if it has to say pasture raised on the package for it to be pasture raised. These are the chickens that are outside at minimum 6 hours, but outside they have access to the grass and the flowers and the weeds and the insects and bugs, all the things that they're supposed to be eating. That's what needs to be on that land for it to be called pasture raised. So they're eating the things that they're supposed to be eating. So therefore they have higher nutrients. They have higher vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin D. D3 is super important. That comes from the egg yolk. The protein is better. It's all because of the food, the higher quality food and what the chicken is supposed to be eating in the first place. So if you feed it corn that it's not supposed to be eating, it's getting infections and it's getting sick, and the nutrients are extremely low. So it might be $1 cheaper, but I'd rather spend an extra $1 and get a higher quality, getting more nutrients so I can absorb into my cells and make me healthier. So that's chickens. Okay, that's eggs. Next one is going to be beef. So what I have here is, can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay, doesn't it look nasty?
Yes, it does.
That's a New York strip, thin cut from Jewel. That's from a conventional cow. This is grass-fed. Same thing, New York strip, but from a grass-fed cow. See, it's very lean. There's all this white stuff. It's called marbling. That's all fat. Fat should not be inside the muscle. This is pretty lean. The fat is on the outside, the subcutaneous, not inside the muscle. Okay. Now the reason why the one with all the fat in there, the one that looks nasty, what they do is in the CAFO cow, they're in a CAFO, and I forget what it stands for, but it's all the cows are packed in right next to each other, and they're fed corn and wheat and soybean, and they still have some grass and hay, but the majority of their meal, 55 pounds of corn and wheat is fed to a cow in a conventional farm. Whereas grass-fed, that's all they eat is grass their entire lives. So a cow is supposed to eat corn. I mean, a cow is supposed to eat grass, and that's what it digests. That's why they have 4 different stomachs, and they're able to digest all that and convert it into energy. Now, grass isn't very high in energy, so they have to eat a lot of it. So that's why the conventional farms feed it corn, because it's a very high energy food. And the reason why they do that is because it fattens them up within 6 months. They're able to go from like 60 pounds up to 400 pounds, not only because of what they're fed, but also the hormones that they're given and the antibiotics. The hormones are getting into our food. This is why girls are starting to get breasts when they're like 10 years old. They're getting their first periods when they're like 9, 10, 11 years old. They're maturing a lot quicker because of the hormones that they're eating from the cows. They're getting the hormones for growth. They're also given the antibiotics because the cows are extremely confined next to each other. They're, not to be gross, but they're defecating on each other also. So when you're in that little confined space and a cow gets cut or whatever, that poo gets inside the cut, it gets infected. And they have to have tons of antibiotics, or they have to kill the cow before it's mature. Those antibiotics are getting into the meat, and then we eat the antibiotics. This is why we're becoming anti-antibiotics. The antibiotics that we use are becoming useless now because we're always being fed antibiotics when you're eating commercial cow meat. It could be cow, it could be beef, lamb, pork, goat. I mean, any lamb, I already said lamb, but all these red meats that are on farms and they're fed corn and they're getting these hormones and antibiotics. These are the reasons why the antibiotics are becoming useless. COVID-19, the antibiotics that we have today should have been able to defend our bodies from the virus, but because we're so immune, our bodies are immune to those antibiotics, are not effective anymore. So that's another big reason why you shouldn't be eating the commercial fed beef. So the difference on the price, I think, I went to Whole Foods. I went to a really expensive one for the grass-fed beef. What was the price? The price was $16.99 a pound. The price for the conventional cow per pound was $10.27. So it's an extra $5, $6 for a pound, but you're getting a higher quality meat. Also, the grass-fed beef, as opposed to the farm beef, has a lot more, again, the nutrients, because also you can see in the meat, that's like a deadish red color, where this has got like a ruby color to it. It's more lively looking, as Martha would say. So the nutrients are very high in it as well. Nutrients like vitamin E and vitamin A are really high in this. Vitamin B12, which is really important for girls, important for all of us. It's a neurological vitamin. So what are those people, I keep forgetting the terms, bulimic. What's the difference? I think it's bulimic. The people that don't eat, they throw up after they eat, so they don't have any nutrients going through them. Those are the girls. It could be guys too, but it's mostly girls because they want to keep their weight level down. When you do that, they're not getting the B12, and there's been cases where they're not able to walk anymore because their nerves are shot. They're not working because of B12 being deficient in that. So this is why beef is really important, especially for girls to be eating, for the B12, the B6, and folate, especially after menopause. And I know I'm going through this really quick. I'm sorry, but I wanted to get at least some of this demonstration of why you should be spending the money on the quality rather than the quantity. So it's always better to get quality over quantity, I believe, when it comes to your health. Okay, the last one is fish. Okay, here's the first one. This is the one that is farm raised, and I'll talk about it in a second. So it's farm raised. It's really light pink, and it's kind of like dead looking. It's farm raised. This one is wild caught. You can see a huge difference between the two. This is light pink, and this is like a ruby red color. This is the way it should be. And the reason why the wild caught is a ruby red color is because they eat shrimp and they eat krill. Shrimp, as you know, it has an orange color. When they're alive in the waters, in the oceans, they're a pinkish color. Flamingos, they eat shrimp also. That's why they're pink. So the pigmentation of the shrimp gets into their blood and into their body, and that's why they produce this reddish color to their meat. What else was I going to say about fish? Oh God, yeah, this one, farm raised. They're fed corn, soybean, same thing as like cows. Also, they get fed the corn because corn's really cheap. It's subsidized from the government, so it's super, super cheap. They get tons of it, and they have to train the fish how to eat corn. So they mix the corn with their regular food, and then they start reducing the regular food and more corn. Eventually, the fish just eat the corn. So they have to be trained to eat that. The fish also in farm raised, the fish are gray. It's a dead gray color. So if they were to sell a fish in its natural color, you would think it's disgusting because it's gray. You think it was dead. So what they do is they add coloring to it. They either add colored pellets that make the skin go into a pink color, or there's a pharmaceutical company that actually created a whole variety of shades from pink to a reddish color. I forget the name of the pharmaceutical company, but what you can do is you can look at the label, and the label will say added color added. Can you see that? It says salmon, Atlantic fillet, color added, farm fresh. Can you see that? So that's really the true color of that.
We don't pay attention to that.
What was that?
That we usually don't pay attention to that we don't read the labels.
I know, because
if I would have known that they're adding color to it, I mean, of course I wouldn't buy it.
Ew.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the meat when it isn't sold, because oxidation, when you think of a car, when it loses its paint and water hits the car, it rusts, right? We all know that, right? And the reason why it does that is because oxygen hits the metal and it oxidizes it. Same thing with meat and same thing with us. I mean, when oxygen hits us, we oxidize also. That's why we need the opposite of oxidation, which is anti-oxidation or antioxidants. That's why it's so important for us to have antioxidants. But the meat, when it hits the air, it'll turn gray or it'll turn brown. You'll see this in the meat department at the butcher shop. The beef, if it's been sitting there for a couple of days, it'll turn brown. But they'll spray it with a chemical which will make it look like red meat again. So when you cut it, when it's raw and it's brown on the inside, you just sold you a piece of crap meat. You just bought a piece of crap meat. So yeah, it's really important to kind of read the labels, as Letty said, to see what you're actually eating. It'll say, by law, it has to say, when you add coloring to it from a pharmaceutical company, they have to add that on the label according to law. But if they're fed food pellets that have the coloring in it, I don't think they have to add that to the label. So you don't know. But my guess is anything that's farm raised, you can bet that it's being fed corn, and it's a gray fish. It's not pink, it's not red, it's gray. Okay. So I think I got everything I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, the other important thing about beef is, I know a lot of you are trying to lose weight. Beef has a fair amount inside the fat. Inside the fat, there's enzymes and compounds that either produce more fat or eat the fat. So inside beef, it has a fat called conjugated linoleic acid, or an acronym for it is CLA, and that fat actually burns fat. So you want to have that, you want to have more of that kind of fat in your body so you can burn more fat in your body. So beef has a lot of that in it, as opposed to chicken. Chicken doesn't have I don't think it even has any CLA in it. So this is why I'm big on beef, because of the higher the nutrients, the CLA, I forgot what I was going to say. I got too much in my mind. Yeah, so the main thing I wanted to show today was the quality of food. You're going to pay for your health, as Jovi put up on the posting a couple of days ago. You're going to pay for your health on either the front end or the back end. If you're buying cheap quality food, which I understand that sometimes you have to because of economic times and the amount of people you have in the house, then you're going to be paying for your diseases. You're going to be paying for doctor appointments, medications, hospitalizations, all this other stuff that comes along with eating a poor diet. And you're not going to be feeling very well. You're going to have arthritis. You're going to have high blood pressure. You're going to have high cholesterol, and obviously type 2 diabetes as well. So in my opinion, I'd rather spend a couple extra bucks on getting the quality food and getting those nutrients in me and staving off or hopefully preventing any of these diseases that come in the back end. Okay. So that was the big picture. You're going to pay for it on the front end or the back end. So I'd rather pay for it on the front end.
True.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
Nope.
You said it very clear, Chris.
I spoke really quickly, and I kind of like stumbled through most of it, but hopefully you guys got the gist of it.
Yep.
Yes.
And what are the name of the eggs again?
They're from Vital Farm. Can you see it?
Okay, pasture raised. Okay.
Yeah, you want to have pasture raised.
Okay.
Chris, where do you buy those?
You know what? Pete's Market and Jewel is starting to, I don't see it there all the time, but they're starting to sell it because they're trying to compete with Whole Foods. But you can always get it at Whole Foods. Trader Joe's does not have it. Trader Joe's has omega-3 added to their eggs, and they have free range, but I don't think they have pasture raised. And if they do, from what I remember, it was a faded yellow. It looked like this one.
Like the first one.
And not the orange one. So I never bought that again from Trader Joe's. So Whole Foods, even at Peace Market and Jewel, they're $5.99 for a dozen. And I think the free range are like $3.99. So I'd rather spend the extra $2. And I don't think any of you guys are going to be eating a whole dozen of eggs in one day. So it'll last you for a few days.
Whole Foods actually has it cheaper though.
What was that?
That Whole Foods has it cheaper. Like they have 16 eggs, I believe, for like $7.99, I think.
For pasture raised?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Oh, you know what? I think it's because they come in small. small eggs. So I always get the large ones.
Does it matter?
No, it's just you're getting less of an egg.
Okay.
But, well, maybe less than an egg, but you're still getting the same quality inside the egg. So maybe a little, you're still getting some egg.
You're going back to going quality over quantity. You're right.
Yeah. And what do you think about egg whites?
Same thing. Get the good quality eggs. It depends on your biochemistry. Hereditary wise, I have high cholesterol, and it's not because of my diet or my lifestyle. It's because of my hereditary. An enzyme inside my body, there's an enzyme that either converts the food into either energy or cholesterol. So if you have too much energy, your body doesn't need anymore, so it converts into cholesterol. This is why people get high cholesterol problems. They have too much energy in them and are feeding themselves even more energy. So your body doesn't need it, so it converts into cholesterol. So my problem is my body just keeps producing it. There's a problem with that. I have a mutation in that enzyme that converts it. So I stay away from the egg yolks. I'll have like one with every 5 egg whites. But most people, I've heard tons of doctors say you can have 4 to 5 eggs per day, whole eggs, not just the egg white, but the whole egg. You should, no matter what, you should have at least 1 egg yolk. If you have no cholesterol problems, at least 1 egg yolk, because what it does is it breaks down the enzymes of the egg white so it can digest easier. So you should have at least 1 egg yolk in there.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Any other questions?
Chris, I have a question. I know you said something about rice before, but what about brown rice?
I think it's all the same. I mean, rice is a grain. Our bodies, as I've said before, our pancreas, obviously, if there's so many people with type 2 diabetes, with the grains that we're eating, with all the processed foods, rice, corn and everything, our pancreas has not evolved enough to be able to digest all this food, these types of foods. Grains have only been introduced to our diets about 10 or 12,000 years ago. We've been around for 8 million years. So 12,000 years is a blink of an eye. It hasn't been enough time for us to evolve to be able to handle and cope with that type of food, especially in the amounts that we're eating. So I would stay away from all the rice, whether it be white or brown. Couscous is the same thing. That's a grain.
Okay. So Chris, I don't have cholesterol. It doesn't show. I'm usually cholesterol within the range of what they say you have. But my triglycerides have been the problem most of the time. They've gotten to a high stage, and that's what they say. Okay, so I don't know. Is that still having high cholesterol in that sense?
Triglycerides, what it is it's fatty acids and it's glycerol. So that's what the triglycerides are made of. What produces triglycerides is refined carbohydrates, alcohol, and sugar. That's what your liver is producing high triglycerides, because you have too many of those types of nutrients going into your body for your specific body. So what I would do is you can get a uric acid test. And if you're above, I believe 5, that means that your diet needs to be cleaned up.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Your triglycerides also, because of the way that our doctors are trained, they're trained not to have a problem with triglycerides until they hit like the 500 range, 400 range. It should be around 100. I don't think it should be above 150. It should be around about 100. So, but the thing is that the doctors don't say anything about it until you get too high, and then you want to put you on medication.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Rita, do you have any questions? No? Okay. Thanks for the comic this morning.
It was funny.
Diane, do you have any questions?
Nope, I was just learning about eggs. That was very interesting.
Okay. Bill, are you okay?
But
I actually wanted to ask you a question. How bad are tortillas for you? I eat them like all the time.
Huge problem with tortillas. There's so many carbs in there. Most of them are made of corn, right? That's a grain. So
Yeah.
corn's what's
How
causing.
about the nopal tortillas? It has nopal, but it still has corn. I was reading the ingredients, and I thought I was doing good.
Mm.
Yeah. The corn in general, I don't think is a good thing. In fact, some people don't even digest corn. I mean, when they go to the bathroom, it's in the toilet as a whole kernel. And so it doesn't get digested. The other thing is that unless the package says non-GMO, that corn has been manufactured inside a laboratory.
Mm.
So if it does not say
Cactus on it, it's that nopal and corn, I think. Well, it doesn't say corn, but I was reading the ingredients, and it does contain a little bit of a corn. Well, I don't know how much, I don't remember, but it's cactus and corn tortillas, and they're small, they're not big.
Yeah, I don't know anything about cactus. I don't think there's a problem with cactus. I don't think there's sugar in cactus. I'm not very familiar with that. But with the corn, yeah, I'd stay away from that, especially if the package does not say, the package should say non-GMO. GMO stands for genetically modified organism.
Okay.
So if it doesn't say that, then it was produced probably from Monsanto. And I'm sure most of you guys have heard of that company where it's killed lots and lots of people from their products. So if you get anything that's inside a box, make sure it says non-GMO on it. And I prefer for it to be organic as well.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Josie, you have a question?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Trying to make sure I've got everyone.
Chris?
Yes.
Thank you. You were very informative today, because I mean, there are so many things that sometimes you just take it for granted. You just go by the meat, you go by the eggs, and that's it, you know? So thank you very much. That's just making us more conscious of what we're eating, like you said. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Martha. Danny, do you have any questions?
No, no questions.
Okay.
I have another question. Can I get that juicy, nice red steak that you have there so I can eat it?
I'd be throwing away most of this anyway. Okay, Joby.
First, I have another question.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm drinking more water, but I hate water, but I'm drinking more of it. And you're Mr. Hate Everything, so I'm not supposed to have juice. But I like the grapefruit. Can I juice the grapefruit and drink that?
I wouldn't do it all the time. I would do it sometimes. There's something I would say, but I'm not going to say to you because you take one little tiny benefit and you make it the whole thing. So
I do not.
Are you on cholesterol pills?
No.
You're not on statins. Your cholesterol's
I'm not
fine.
on anything.
Okay. Yeah, then grapefruit, you can have it sometimes. I wouldn't have it every time. But what you can do is you can put lemon in there. Lemon is actually even better because it's a diuretic. So you should be able to increase your metabolism a little bit that way, and also lose a little bit of weight. You could do lime also. I try to stick to those kind of fruits, is the lemon and lime. I would do the grapefruit maybe not very often. I wouldn't do it every day, certainly, but for a change, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Joby, everything good with you?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Hey, Ann, how are you?
Thing that
Good.
meat is better, right? Sorry.
I can't hear you, Annalisa.
I said hello. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Were you on the entire time? I didn't see you until just now.
Yeah, no, I was not. I was running an errand. I just walked in the house. So.
Bummer. I'll let your mom catch you up to everything. We're not going to do a workout today. I have a test I didn't know about tomorrow morning. I got to study for that. So I just went through quality foods. So your mom can catch up really quick.
Sure, for sure. Okay, well, good luck tomorrow.
Oh, thank you. Cool. All right, if there's no more questions, I'm going to start hitting the books.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Bye.
Good luck, Chris.
Bye. Good luck. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Do well, Chris.
Talk to you later, Mom.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, Joby.